Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKodash. Double honor some other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, the Becharim, the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last times, and to be the ruling and governing body of the nation, Yashallah. I want to go into a lesson on this new movie trailer, and it predicts or it shows prophecy, especially Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay, and it's been the spirit of these movies that's been coming out lately to show you what's going to happen real soon. You have the movie Leave the World, which I haven't watched yet, which I will. My brothers have been going into it, depicting of what's to come. Okay, so I'm gonna play this trailer without further ado and get some scriptures.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
I guess aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? We're moving to D.C. today.
You need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. What if...
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Yeah, so a lot of things were shown in that trailer, and I'm gonna play it one more time actually, but I'm gonna get some scriptures, but I'm gonna play it one more time. All right, a lot of things were shown in that. Okay, and it's called Civil War, which the last Civil War, let me look that up. Okay, but it goes to also show you how nothing is new under the sun, and there will be another Civil War. All right, the last Civil War in this place, Babylon the Great. So the American Civil War started in April 12th, 1861, and ended April 9th, 1865. So approximately four years, okay? So let me read this. For more than 80 years, people in the northern and southern states had been debating the issues that ultimately led the war: economic policies and practices, cultural values. Now, this is what led the war or caused it: the extent and reach of the federal government, and most importantly, the role of slavery within American society, which they tried to paint the picture that they wanted to help the Israelites, Jake, all right, predominantly the tribe of Judah that was in slavery, but really, emancipation, all right? They were just moved to a different corporation, okay? They didn't care about us, all right? They weren't really trying to free us. They just wanted the southern states to join, all right, with with the federal government, okay. And the southern states were doing their own thing, and of course, by having the slaves, Jake, all right, tribe of Judah, they were wealthy, okay. They were wealthy because of the resources that Jake was doing on those on the plantations, picking up the cotton and other type of resources that they were doing forced labor, okay. But that made the southern states, or the Confederate states, very wealthy because of slavery. All right, so the Union, they had to come in and be like, okay, we got to stop them, so get rid of these slaves. All right, we got to just abolish this. All right, but it was never intended to really actually free us because they actually cared. No, that's not it. Okay, that wasn't it. Okay, Abraham Lincoln didn't care about us. Okay, but anyways, let's go to 2 Ezra 15, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, meaning near, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you've seen that. Okay, let me go back.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The future
So look at that. So we can see in that, I'm going to break it down, it's already chaos and turmoil. The cars that are parked there are just through, all right? So that shows you that, by the scene of this trailer, it already happened. Okay, it could have been a month, 2 months into it of all the chaos or turmoil, but it already happened. So they're driving through, trying to survive ultimately.
Sure as the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
I guess aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Yeah. So I just read, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that will come to America. Now Esau is really going to send in those UN troops, because these American troops are weak. All right. Now you're probably going to have some type of compliances with them. But Esau's going to send his UN troops, these different militia groups, and it's going to be civil war. Okay, one group standing against another. All right, and just regular individuals that do have some type of, armed forces. Okay, it's going to be survival of the fittest, like the movie The Purge, Bushwick, for example, as well. Another good movie that you should watch. All right, if you have some type of firepower, you're going to use it to protect yourself. But the Lord is going to protect the men of the Lord. We're going to gain that spiritual power. All right. And the Lord's going to protect us. Hell, you might, that time comes, you might run into some weapons. All right. I'm not saying we're gonna need them, of course not, but the Lord's going to be with us. All right. He's going to give us spiritual power. All right. But it's going to be a time like never before. All right.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrike?
Right, and it said written, the director written, or the writers of this movie, they also written 28 Days Later, which is also my favorite movie. And in that movie, it shows you all out hell breaking loose with a certain disease, a pandemic. All right, but Esau, we know he orchestrates all this. Okay, so pandemic, but it led to zombies. It led to people getting a disease. All right. People either dying or turning to zombies. And that can be a very real scenario. Okay? All these flus and viruses and the people taking the juice, We'll just have to see what that leads to. All right, but these people are already zombies out here. But let's continue.
Against American citizens. We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. What?
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. Look, we're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you?
What kind of American are you? The house that's divided shall not stand, you know. And there's gonna be a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? But it's gonna be two sides, all right? It's either gonna be down with this side or be against it, all right? And Esau is ultimately gonna come in with that chip, which is the charagma, or the mark of the beast, all right? That mark in the Greek in Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 16, is charagma, meaning a palisade or meaning a engraven idol. The root word is charax, meaning a palisade, a stake, a needle. And the latter root word of that is graphos, meaning your writing, your database. Ultimately, it's the chip, okay? So let me read. Let me keep going. All right. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, rebellion, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right. So it's going to be a lot of rebellion, a lot of, people against the higher ups. All right. These different militia groups and UN troops that Esau's going to deploy out. Okay. It's going to be every man for himself. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses, I skip the verse. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? And we've seen that with the first lockdown, all right, somewhat, okay, but it's going to be even more restricted, draconian measures, all right, and ultimately, you're not going to be able to pass without that C-hip, okay? For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. It's going to be no food, no water, no electricity. Again, all out hell breaking loose. It's going to go back to the Wild Wild West times overnight. All right? And when you have no food, no water, things that you need that's necessary for life, it's going to cause you to go into survival mode. Okay? Now, we know that the scriptures say in Isaiah, the 65th chapter, because the Lord's ultimately going to protect his men, all right, the men of the Lord. Isaiah 65, which, this is a comforting scripture. And it says, therefore thus said, 65 verse 13 in Isaiah, therefore thus said Yahweh Bashmel Shai, which that's the true name of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahweh, meaning he is, and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Therefore thus said the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So we're going to eat, drink, and rejoice. Or the opposite for these people. Okay?
You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car! We're gonna hang back.
Wow. And just looking at the views, 17 hours ago already has 1 million views and it's going up. And look at this. People are in the know. Okay? Well, I thought they would say something. But, hey, predictive programming, though. Either way, people, hey, this is gearing people up in the back of their minds subconsciously.
Not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
So that was it, man. Salaki. That was it, That's ultimately coming real soon. So with that, hey, Shalom.